Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited. The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.
A California man allegedly shot and murdered a store owner over a dispute regarding a rainbow pride flag outside of her store. Now, in this incident, 27-year-old Travis Akuji allegedly confronted Lori Ann Carlton outside of her Magpie store in San Bernardino County and allegedly shot her once, taking her life. And after he wound up shooting the 66-year-old store owner and mother of 9, he allegedly got into a confrontation with the police. And in that confrontation with the police, Travis Akuji wound up being shot and killed by police. Now, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department sees this as an isolated incident of alleged homophobia, but when I take a critical examination of the behavior of Travis Akuji, it fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And it's clear to me Travis Akuji was one of these beta males who wanted to live in a smooth world. Now, when it comes to beta males, they want to live in a smooth world, a place with no problems, no conflicts, and no obstacles, and they don't want to deal with anything that they disagree with. And in their rose-colored perception of reality, everything has to fit within the confines of whatever they believe, and anything that doesn't fit within the confines of what they believe needs to be destroyed. And when Travis Akuji possibly walked down the street and saw the pride flag standing outside of the Magpie clothing store, this is where Travis Akuji wound up becoming very angry because he saw something that disagreed with his personal beliefs and something that disrupted his smooth world. Now, most average everyday Americans who understand the First Amendment of the United States understand that the First Amendment gives us all free speech, and it's all about protecting the speech we don't like so that people can go out here and be able to express themselves. Unfortunately, with the beta male, he doesn't want to go out here and understand that people outside of him have a right to their own freedom of expression that is guaranteed under the Constitution, and he doesn't understand that if you see something you disagree with, what you do is just keep walking. Unfortunately, when you're dealing with beta males, whenever they see something they disagree with, many of these men, because they feel and they do not think, what they do is start to get emotional, start to get triggered, and start acting on their impulses, not ever thinking about the consequences of their actions. And what they do is, because they're caught up in their feelings about their smooth world being disrupted, what these individuals do is look to try to force people to follow their ideals and beliefs. And that's what Travis Akuji was looking to do when he possibly first saw this pride flag outside of this store. And he went to possibly go into that store and confront that owner, possibly looking to demand that they take this flag down. And this is the kind of, again, absolutely ridiculous behavior that beta males participate in, because whenever a beta male sees something that does not fit his perception of reality, he wants to eliminate that whatever it is, and he wants to eliminate whatever upsets him, because if he has to deal with something that does not fit his perception of reality, he has to realize that the world isn't smooth, and that has him looking to go out here and look to get very angry. Again, when you're dealing with a beta male, again, he does not live in our world. He lives in a world that looks and feels like our world, but he cannot deal with an actual perception of reality. He cannot deal with real reality where people have different thoughts and opinions than he does. And as he's having this issue with dealing with people having different ideas and opinions than what he does is he starts to get very angry because he feels that this is something he doesn't want in his world, and he wants to go out here and eliminate whatever this is. So what Travis Okuji was looking to do was he was looking to go out here and hope that if he went out here and confronted Lori Ann Carlton regarding this pride flag, she would take it down. But Lori Ann Carlton, because she understood her First Amendment rights, stood there and said this is her property, her store, and insisted that she was going to keep this flag up. And that really wound up escalating things with Travis Okuji, who went from being angry that his smooth world was being disrupted to going to simmer and seethe in a rage. And as he seethed in this rage because he saw he could not go out here and appeal to Lori Ann Carlton to make his world smooth again, what he looked to do was he looked to destroy Lori Ann Carlton's life because she had the audacity to disagree with him. And that's where you had Travis Okuji go to the Magpie store, and he went to the Magpie store with a firearm, and he went to the store with a firearm to murder Lori Ann Carlton, all for saying no to him, and all for saying no, that I will not take a flag down off her own property. I mean, I really want you to think about this as related to this whole man's perceptions of reality, because a woman had a flag outside of her store that this man disagreed with. He felt justified in taking this woman's life, and he wanted to go out here and believe that he was doing this as a so-called good Christian. Well, I'm a follower of God, and I'm a Christian myself, and I will say that when I read my Bible, it says, "Thou shalt not murder," and a follower of Christ understands that if you are following God, you are going to go out here and love the Lord with all your heart, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. And what you're going to do whenever you see something that goes out here and goes against your beliefs is do what Christ did when he was out here dealing with the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and that is to just walk right by people and again just keep moving on, shaking the dust off your feet as a testimony to them. You're not going to go out here and look to do physical harm to somebody else because you disagree with them. No, this guy, what he wants to do is use justifications through religion in an effort to try to make an excuse for the violence he actually wanted to participate in. Because the real reason why Travis Okuji wanted to participate in this violence against this store owner was because his entire ideals as related to his smooth world were disrupted, and since he could not make his world smooth by getting this store owner to just go along with him, what he does is go out here and looks to murder this woman, and then after he murders this woman, tears down the pride flag outside of her business. Again, this is the kind of, extreme behavior that beta males participate in, because beta males, again, these are individuals who are just mostly raised in a dysfunctional fashion, and because they're raised in a dysfunctional fashion, they have a completely twisted perception of reality where they want everything to fit whatever they want as related to the world, and it really, again, is quite quite disturbing to hear how this man, again, just took things to extremes. I mean, he's living in the leftist blue state of California, and in the leftist blue state of California, you're going to see many alphabet flags. It's just a part of life in California, and if this individual had an issue with all of this, he should have just packed up his bags and moved. But instead, what happens with beta males, because a lot of beta males are just really proud, what they will do is go out here and look to insist that their way is going to be the way. And as they insist that their way is going to be the way, what they do is escalate their behavior to violent extremes where they look to take people's lives over something like a flag outside of a store. Now, after Travis Okuji went out here and took this woman's life and took her pride flag down, what he did was get into a confrontation with police where he wound up getting into a shootout. And after he got into this shootout, he wound up losing his own life. And I have to again wonder if this was all worth it for Travis Okuji. I mean, you just were so in your feelings about this flag that you basically put your own freedom and your life in jeopardy. I mean, this is the kind, again, behavior that beta males participate in whenever they feel like their world is being disrupted. What these individuals do is escalate their behavior to extremes, and they escalate their behavior to an extreme because they want the world to work like they want it to. Again, due to the dysfunctional way they've been raised, mostly by single mothers who go out here and coddle and spoil these boys, and in some ways overcompensate when they raise these boys by teaching them religion, but never teaching them an application of the Word of God. Because according to this guy's social media, he was one of these Christian radicals who was out here, again, talking about he was an extremist Christian, but again, never applying the Word of God to situations in life the way Jesus did. No, the way the Messiah handled things was not the way this individual did. No, the Messiah left people to go out here and do whatever they wanted, and just left people to go out here and have their own free will. He didn't look to impose his will on those the way Travis Okuji was looking to do, and he wasn't looking to, again, participate in this kind of violence. No, this is the type of behavior that beta males actively participate in, and they participate in this violence hoping to use religion as a justification, but God has nothing to do with anything like this. No, this is a beta male's whole way of life. Whenever something doesn't go their way, whenever they can't make things fit into their smooth world, whenever they can't make life go their way, their whole solution to everything is violence. Their whole solution is looking to destroy anybody who disagrees with them. And what happens with many of these beta males is they wind up losing as related to life. Either they wind up in prison with Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, and Big Dave being traded for commissary, or in the case of Travis Okuji, they wind up being murdered by police, and they wind up, again, being killed by the police because of their own stupidity and their own arrogance and their own pride. They go out here and their pride leads to them having a fall, and that's what leads to them going from being men to becoming men in crisis. Now, if you want to learn more about what leads to men like this one winding up in situations where they wind up in situations like this, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, to learn more about the dysfunctional behavior that motivates beta males to escalate their behavior to extreme violence like this. And you can find The Man Crisis at online booksellers like Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Target, and you can also find it in digital format like Kindle, Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you want to see me do more videos about men in crisis, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book, The Man Crisis, comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.